telephone.
My oh my, that word's so moronic.
I could cry. I want word that's lame.
Mr. Coney Bear.
Simplify. I feel supersonic.
Spell hospital.
Oh, come on.
That is why I despise this game.
That is correct. Mr. Tolentino.
Life is random and unfair. Life is pandemonium.
Diplococcus.
That's the reason we despair.
Life is pandemonium.
Life is pandemonium.
Life is
I knew that word.
I knew that word. I knew that word. God damn it.
Hello, my name's Gabrielle Filloux, and my senior project with Meagan Donovan was putting on a main stage musical at the Woodside Priory High School.
Hi, I'm Meagan Donovan, and I am the producer, and I was also Rona Lisa Peretti in 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. I play Rona Lisa Peretti. My favorite part about Spelling Bee is performing all the songs with all the actors because everyone has a ton of energy and it's just so much fun.
Mama, I made it!
I guess the short rehearsal process, it all came together eventually. But it was really scary in the beginning just because we didn't have as much time as we usually have.
Yeah, and what is your favorite word? It doesn't have to be in the show.
Lackadaisical.
That's incredible. Thank you, Meagan.
Thank you.
I play William Barfay, working on my magic foot and spelling out the words. This probably spelling all the words correctly, because you have to, otherwise you're out of the spelling bee. So,
And what is your favorite word
my favorite word in the whole show or mine?
ever? Just your personal favorite word?
Probably Tupperware.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Quincy.
You're welcome.
I'm not that smart. My siblings have been telling me that for years.
So far, we getting to do a show with so much improv and with the audience participants, it makes it really exciting because you never do the same show twice.
D-A-P-Y-B-A-R-A.
Probably the same thing.
Yeah.
Not doing the same thing twice and never really knowing what is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because anything could happen, really.
And what is your favorite word? It doesn't have to be in the show.
My favorite word, bok choy.
Perfect, thank you.
M&M's, Oreos, all for $1. It is tradition.
I play Chip Tolentino. Probably just getting to do it over and over and just not being the same thing
Great.
every time. And I really love the audience volunteers. They make the show 20 times funnier. Breaking character, for sure. Since it's a comedy, like, there's so many funny things in the show, and there's so much spontaneity in the show that it's just impossible sometimes to, like, not laugh.
Perfect. What is your favorite word? It does not have to be in the show.
Yeah.
Gab? Thank you. Thank you, Timmy.
I hope you can love me, America. I'm gunning for first pride. Here's why you should love me,
Logan Schwartz and Grubenier.
I cannot.
Everyone's really close and incredibly nice and incredibly talented, which just makes it so much more fun to do. And also the fact that, like, since this entire production was put together in like a month, really, and it's all done by students, it's just like that much more exciting that we have such a great show.
I'm sorry, is that an answer? Shut up, go home and pull your damn pants up.
Borna always tells me to be on crack, and I have a really hard time acting like I'm crazy for like an hour and a half.
I can imagine. And what is your favorite word?
Favorite what?
What is your favorite word?
Word?
It doesn't have to be in the show.
Bubble. Because you can't say bubble. No, just hear me out. You can't say bubble with an angry voice. Like, you just can't.
Try it.
Bubble. Like, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
That is awesome.
It's such a
Thank you,
great
Julie.
Official spelling bee rules. A speller may ask questions.
Play Vice Principal Doug Panch. I think my favorite part about Spelling Bee is knowing that the spellers are at my mercy. I choose whether they live or die. Well, I mean, I choose whether they get eliminated or not, but it's basically the same thing. It's probably not cracking up during a few scenes.
Definitely. And what is your favorite word? It doesn't have to be in the show.
Favorite word? Oh, gee. Do I even have a favorite word right now?
Right.
I'll take a rain check. I don't think of words.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Matt.
I speak 6 languages. 6. Every language is
My character's name is Marcy Park. I definitely like the fact that, like, even though we're all just a bunch of teenagers, we came together and made a show that I think is as good as, even better than some of the productions of Spelling Bee is.
Right.
During my song, I'm supposed to, like, do all these acrobatics and, like, sing at the same time, so it's hard to breathe.
That's very difficult. And what is your favorite word? It does not have to be in the show.
My favorite word ever?
Mm-hmm.
I really like the word pudding.
That's a great word. Awesome. Thank you, Talia.
Thank you.
Now go with dignity.
Play Mitch Mahoney, Dan Dad, right? Yeah, and Olive's dad. I have to say my favorite part has been getting to work so closely with some of my really close friends and just kind of like hanging out at the rehearsals and just getting to spend quality time with everyone. Definitely character development and trying to work with a character that I'm definitely not like myself. And like it didn't really start coming to me until like Tech Week, but now I kind of feel like I'm really secured into it.
Great. And what is your favorite word? It does not have to be in the show.
My favorite word would have to be
Great, thank you so much.
My role in the show, I was producer. I was also music director, so I taught the cast the score and I had to put together the live orchestra. And I also played Olive Ostrovsky.
I'm Borna, I'm directing.
I'm Carolyn and I'm stage manager.
Yay, okay.
It's casual. So basically the story is me and Meagan sat down, we knew we wanted to do a senior project together, and we didn't know exactly what, and we were going to write a musical. But our PAC was reserved for about the last month of school, and I had a show going on, Meagan had some potential shows going on, so we only had about a month and a half to plan everything out. So we decided 2 weeks wasn't enough time to write a musical, so we decided to put one on that was already written. So we narrowed it down to about 3. We had the last 5 years, Peter and the Starcatchers, and 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. And ultimately we wanted to do Peter and the Starcatchers, but there was a national tour that was starting up, so the rights were just too hard to get. So we settled on 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, which was the best decision because it's also, we can advertise that very easily to a lot of different groups. So it was a very eclectic show, which is what we really wanted in terms of marketability and just all-around enjoyment. So we went to Lauren Hatton and Karen Simpson at PYT. We were chatting with them about royalty fees and the rights and that whole process, and they were super helpful. And we decided to bring Borna Barzin on in to come and direct for us, which is awesome. And that turned out very well. And when we were applying for the rights, we contacted our Bay Area representative for MTI. And MTI is Musical Theater International. And there was also Samuel French Publications. And those two companies hold the legal rights to all the shows, basically, most of the shows that have ever been produced. So we were talking to Samuel French, they were in communication with us, but since we wanted a show that MTI had legal rights to, we had to contact them. And they never responded to us, which is somewhat understandable because we came off as just some 3 ambitious teenagers. But resident director Michael Champlin, we were talking to him, and he is actually very good friends with the president of MTI. So he sent him off an email, and then the next day we got the rights, which was awesome.
Three, one, 2, 3, 2, 1.
Guys, actually. Why would you do push-ups on purpose?
Brandon made me into a soldier.
How do you feel right now, Gab?
I'm scared.
We had to wait a little bit before officially casting the show because we engaged in a fiscal sponsorship with PYT, and they were also doing Once Upon a Mattress and a teen intensive of Romeo and Juliet. And it was important to us that we didn't want to mooch off of their actors, we didn't want to steal them from their productions. So we waited a little bit before, after those two were cast, we waited to send out all of our casting appeals, you could call them. And ultimately, it worked out really well. We were reaching all across the Bay Area for a very broad spectrum of actors. And it ended up that we mostly got PYT performers because other people had conflicts, but it was a phenomenal group of people. About a month to rehearse, which was awesome. It was a great challenge. I brought up to Borna how I wanted to block the whole show in the first 2 days because that just makes it easier for the rest of the process, and we could work on character development, and just once you have the foundation down, it's going to be way easier to go throughout the show. And we did that, and it worked out super well.
Understand that paint had degrees, and this is nothing. This is nothing, you little freaks. But that would violate my parole. So I do what I can. I give him a hug and a juice bar. And then now you whip up the juice bar. Yeah. I'm here to give comfort. Okay, and then now everybody's back. Everybody. No. And then.
Being a music director was very challenging, but I appreciated the challenge and I learned so much from it. I would get very nervous because if I made a mistake, I'd feel terrible. But I put up a SoundCloud with all the separately recorded parts and together, so I definitely got better at the piano through this process. So I brought in resident music director from PYT, Daniel Shanlin, to come in and help me out with some of the funky rhythms, because it's actually kind of a complicated chorus part, which we didn't expect from such a simplistic music.
That's the reason we despair. Life is pandemonium. Life is pandemonium. I knew that word.
I knew that word.
I knew that word. God damn it.
We hired our pianist. We had a $1,000 budget. She only asked for $500. Yes! And Katie Coleman, she was phenomenal. We had a little scramble an hour before the call for our first show, trying to find a new pedal for the keyboard, which that was fun. Go Gelb's Music Store in Redwood City. I owe you one. We had 3 drummers, Adibo, Nick Souter, and Siddharth Gandhi. They were phenomenal, couldn't have asked for better drummers. And we also had a volunteer cellist, Rob Gloucester, and he was perfect. It was a really great orchestra.
My favorite part of doing the show was singing the I Love You song because it was me, Gabrielle, and Blake, and Gabrielle and Blake are 2 of my best friends, and the I Love You song is something that I've been belting in my car for like a year or 2 now because I love it, so it was just a bunch of my favorite things mushed into one, and then the director, Borna, just came up with these amazing ideas for it that made it different than any of the other ones that I'd seen on YouTube or anywhere else, and it was just one of the most fun and emotional things that I was able to do.
Wildly fanciful.
That is correct.
We asked our friend Chris Gregory, who graduated from Priory last year, to come back and help us design lights for the show because he's an amazing tech person. He does tech at his college and he did tech at Priory, and he's just amazing with everything. So he actually got us a lot of his specialty lights that made the show just so much better.
But when he gets here, that's his chair. 'Cause my mother's in an ashram in India. I saved a chair for her too, but it's merely symbolic, as daily she washes herself in the Ganges. And I live in a house where there's an oversized dictionary that I read as a girl.
We had the opportunity to record some of our songs with another senior in our class, Mitch Calvert, for his senior project. So the cast went into the studio with him, and he had all this equipment set up, and it was really cool. And we got to record 2 of our songs, which was really amazing because it was like a professional show for this amateur performance that we did.
Like plays my voice. Yeah, I was working with some people earlier, and they said that they didn't like that, so we'll experiment as to why. I kind of like it. Yeah. Okay. But
The chaotic life of a 12-year-old is too hard, and you never
Thank
know
you
what's
so much for watching. We
next.
hope you enjoyed the show and you got a sense
But
for
in
what it was
spelling,
like behind the scenes.
Have logic and line.
And in spelling,
There's some greater design. Though in school we seem strange, at the B we seem better.
as we count out each letter in our mind.
And we find we like spelling. People love to hate us 'cause we're too damn smart. In our heart we do not believe that we'll succeed. We're annoying 'cause we think on our feet. I'm enjoying my new need to compete.
We love nouns, that's our sport. We love talcum on our towels.
We love consonants and vowels, and we feel kind of real. We like spelling.
Oh no. Oh no.
Put my leg in the air later.
Perfect.